sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. I'm on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch a broadcast, it's damn easy. How easy? Just go to shrmedia.com or Facebook. And even that thing that they call, what, YouTube, you can go there. Just search for SHR Media. Just search for SHR Media, and don't forget to hit the like or subscribe button. Either one. It's good with me. How is everybody doing? I've been in a cranky mood all day. No, I don't want to do another thing later. I don't want to. Alright. Give me crickets. Wants to update. Pushy little iPhone, isn't it? I gotta get to the store. I do not like my iPhone. I really don't. I'm gonna go back to Android. The only reason why I went this route was battery. And the battery sucks. I mean, I'm having just the same problem, so it's something I'm doing. But I like the software with the Android. I liked everything about the Android. And I just wanted to switch over because of I kept hearing how the batteries were better. So I went there, and the batteries are about the same. It's not the batteries. Let me see something. It seems like my levels are a little bit low. And it's driving me up a wall. That sounds too loud. Alright, come on. Alright, that sounds a lot better. Hell of a lot better. Well, it sounds a little crackly at the top end. I'm trying to adjust the... Come on, you damn game button. And for those that are long listeners, you know I have this big fight with my mixing board. It drives me up a goddamn wall. Alright, come on. Come on, you can do it. See if my other channel will do better. See, where are we on this one? I don't seem to be doing any better. Come on. God bless it. Alright. Check one. Come on, you little rat bastard. I swear to God. Alright. We'll just go with this. Oh, there we go. Now it's sounding perfect. There we go. There we go. So the shit with Dick Durbin's still going on, and little Dickie Durbin's causing a stir. Now, why I picked this article is hopefully you pick up on the wording that I picked up on right away. And little Dickie Durbin, senator from Illinois, says his sole focus in Congress is making sure illegal aliens are given amnesty to remain permanently in the United States. In comments on Monday, Durbin said it is illegal aliens, not his Illinois constituents, who he is working full-time around the clock for. I didn't know he took an oath for illegal aliens. I thought he took an oath to represent his constituents in Illinois. But no, he would rather spend his whole time. In the meantime, us Americans are paying his ass to work for foreigners. Isn't that a bitch? Now, little Dickie Durbin said, listen, politics ain't beanbag. When you get into tough, complicated, contentious issues, sometimes rhetoric gets very fiery. If you don't have a tough skin, this is not a good business to get into. If you don't have tough skin. All right, he's the one that's fucking complaining that Trump said shithole. He's in a tizzy about shithole. He didn't say, worse words, fuck. He didn't say some fucking piece of shit country. He said, why are we getting these people from, or possibly, I should say, because he's denying he said it. Little Dickie Durbin is known to lie. Said shithole. And he's talking about tough skin. And he said this is not a good business to get into. Maybe he should get out of it if shithole country offends him. I know what happened. I stand behind every word that I said in terms of that meeting. I'm focused on one thing. Not that meeting, but I'm making sure that those who are being protected by DACA and eligible for DREAM Act have a future in America. I am focused on that full time. He is working and he's focused on that full time. Dickie Durbin is not doing things to better America. Little Dickie Durbin is not doing anything to better Illinois. Little Dickie Durbin is doing what's best for foreigners. Why? Because they know their voter base is shrinking. They have to import people that don't know what the hell's going on in America. They have to import new voters. So little Dickie Durbin is all busy working on foreigners. DREAM Act and all that. It's funny because he's sitting here saying you have to have tough skin and that these discussions will get fury. Yeah, they will. But he's the one out there crying to the press about a word possibly said of shithole. Even my dad, who does not cuss, does not curse, when shithole is not really a curse word. He's like, that is nothing. You had Obama calling Israel a chicken shit country. You had LBJ on the phone with some clothing manufacturer burping in their ear, not even apologizing, just yeah, and then sitting there talking about his balls and his butthole, or what do you call it, bunghole. The clothing was too tight in that area. And those are the terms that he used, not me. See if I can find that audio. I may be able to find it. And it seems like my voice is going in and out today, so please excuse me. First one that pops up, LBJ talking to Taylor. Okay. Let's get this going. Hopefully there's no commercials that pop on.
Go ahead, sir.
Hello? Hello. Mr. Hager?
Yes, it's Joe Hager.
Joe, is your father the one that makes clothes?
Yes, sir. We're all together.
You all made me some real lightweight slacks that he just made up on his own, sent to me 3 or 4 months ago. It's a kind of a light brown and a light green, rather soft green and soft brown. And they're real lightweight. Now, I need about 6 pairs for summer wear. I want a couple, maybe 3 of the light brown, kind of a almost powder color, like powder on a lady's.
Hang on one second. I don't want to go through all this. I think I found a shorter version. Let's try this one.
Yes, this is Joe Hager.
Nope.
Joe.
It's at the beginning.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Mr. Hager?
Yes, this is Joe Hager.
Tell me 3 or 4 months ago. It's a kind of a light brown and a light green, rather soft green and soft brown. Now, I need about 6 pairs for summer wear. I need about 6 pairs to wear around in the evening when I come in from work. And I can send you a pair. I want them a ½ inch larger in the waist than they were before, except I want 2 or 3 inches of stuff left back in there so I can take them up. I vary 10 to 15 pounds a month. So leave me at least 2.5 to 3 inches in the back where I can let them out or take them up, and make these a ½ inch bigger in the waist. Make the pockets at least 1 inch longer. My money and my knife and everything fall out. Wait just a minute. Hello?
Hello.
Now, another thing, the crotch down where your nuts hang is always a little too tight. So when you make them up, give me 1 inch that I can let out there, because they cut me. They're just like riding a wire fence. These are the best that I've had anywhere in the United States.
Right.
But when I gain a little weight, they cut me under there. So leave me, you never do have much margin there. Let's see if you can't leave me about 1 inch from where the zipper ends, round under my, back to my bunghole.
All right, then.
So I can let it out there if I need to. Now, be sure you got, so leave me, you never do have much margin there. Let's see if you can't leave me about 1 inch from where the zipper ends, round under my, back to my bunghole.
All right, then.
So I can let it out there.
Yeah, that was the president. You know, and there's... Hang on. Let's see. Trying to look up, see. It's just ridiculous. He said shithole. Now let me tell you something. And I know the sackheads will not disagree with me. I know BZ won't disagree with me. Guess what? San Francisco is a shithole. Detroit is a shithole. Camden, New Jersey is a shithole. Newark, Jersey City, Trenton, shithole all alike. And I can go on with that list. Some of those countries in Africa are shitholes. And the people admit it. Haiti is a shithole. Maybe you ought to go talk to your friends on the left that stole money from Haiti. Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton. That has it a shithole. And Mr. Dickie Durbin, you talk that you have to have thick skin. Maybe you need to, dig up LBJ and find that tailor so you can order some thick skin. And while you're at it, how about you do some fucking work for the American people? Stop worrying about illegal aliens that are here. It is not our responsibility. You want them in here because you want a new wave of voters. Because you can't keep lying to Americans Americans, we keep catching you in your bullshit. Dickie Durbin. Dickhead Durbin. Richard Cranial Durbin. It just... Shit, I'm almost out of coffee. And I was sitting there listening today on the radio, and they were talking about there's a new app you can get when you're in San Francisco that tells you where there's large piles of human excrement on the street, so you can avoid that street. Because don't forget, it is now legal for you to shit and piss all over the city in public, and it's perfectly acceptable. Remember, this is the city that is not gonna prosecute victimist crimes, and they consider drugs a victimist crime, which is a bunch of bullshit, because you have a lot of drug addicts who then go around murdering, robbing, breaking in people's houses. That's not victimless. Prostitution, you have a lot of women that are in prostitution because they're forced into it. You have women that are strung out on drugs that are passing on STDs to people as prostitutes. But that's victimless. So you tell me if that's a shithole city. And that's bad, because that used to be... I've never been there, but I my dad's been out there and everything, and I know from other people that used to be a beautiful city. Now, what does it do? Smell like piss and shit around the clock? Then these cities and states wonder, where's everybody going? Why is everybody leaving? New Jersey, they don't understand why everybody's leaving. Like, hey, we're going to raise taxes more in New Jersey. Damn mustache is bothering me. I think it's time for me to shave. I really do think so. Yeah. It's... Oh my God. He said shithole. Lordy B, he said shithole. Damn, I've heard none speak worse than that. Okay, maybe I haven't heard actual none speak worse than that. I'm just like, what the flim flam flam and a flimity flam. Uh-oh. Dickie Durbin might get upset at me. I said, flim, flam, flimity, flam. It just... Come on, let's grow the hell up. We're adults. I know there's worse said in that goddamn White House than shithole. I'd bet my bottom dollar. It's just they're trying to distract. It's that, oh, look at this hand. Except this time they're trying to hide information that has or hasn't happened. They don't want to talk how great Trump's actually doing. I think I got that article set up today. I believe I do, yeah, because that's that real long article. Probably try to tackle that over the next break, possibly. All right, we're going to get to break. So, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Media Network.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Good evening. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is featured on the SHR Media Network every Tuesday and Thursday night for 2 hours at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific. Whilst manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ continues to radically change the world of leftists, one diaper at a time. Stop balancing your checkbooks. Stop cleaning your fish tanks. The bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is your magnet for truth, justice, obesity, a darkened studio, and late-night freedom. No United States of America freedoms were abridged in the making of this ad.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m., Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians, a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless, hope to the hopeless, clues to the clueless. Sackheads Sean, Sackheads Clint, and Sackheads BZ. The Sackheads Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern on shrmedia.com. Watch on YouTube, Facebook, and the High Plains Pundit Network. The best in late-night conservative talk. The Sackheads Radio Show, only on the SHR Media Network.
Except for this A-roll is going to be... What are you talking about? The last one. Yeah, I'm a freaking artist. I can't just come up with this shit off the top of my head. Are you freaking kidding me right now? Good point. Exactly right.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
When dirty politicians, shadow governments, and deceptive Islam blind the world with fake stream media smoke, their only fear is one man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me through shrmedia.com, highplainstalkradio.com, and the Western Free Radio Network at Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes for a different perspective weekly on the Unpleasant Blind Guy. And catch me on Jeff Mitchell's EDL Radio on blogtalkradio.com. There's
no surrender ever.
Because truth is not always pleasant.
This is Sam on SHR Media. You can listen to my new show starting on Tuesdays in January. Get my perspective on national politics, a conservative's perspective on California politics, the latest in the war on terror, all of that and a lot more here on Tuesdays at SHR Media. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Sam_SHR Media.
Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hey, this is Sackhead Clint, and I'm with Sackhead Sean, Sackhead BZ. No communists allowed on the SHR Media Network. Damn straight, mister. Back to the show.
Conservative media done right.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense here on the SHR Media Network. Hey, Sean, you ever see a one-eared elephant?
No.
Check this out.
Oh, that's so tiny.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Oh, I don't know. Little Dickie Durbin. So let me jump ahead. I should have done this during the break, shouldn't I have? I don't think of those things. So, Associate Press admits Trump has kept many promises his first year in office. President Donald Trump often brags that he's done more in his first year in office than any other president. That's a spectacular stretch, but this is what the AP is writing. But while he's fallen short on many measures and has a strikingly thin legislative record, Trump has followed through on dozens of his campaign promises, overhauling the country's tax system, changing U.S. posture abroad, and upending the lives of hundreds of thousands of immigrants. Well, he's getting the wall started. A year in, Trump is no closer to making Mexico pay for the border wall than when he made supporters swoon with that promise at those rollicking campaign rallies of 2016. What you don't realize is he can cut off financing to Mexico. He can cut off food stamps to Mexico. That's right. We're giving food stamps to Mexico for Mexicans in Mexico. Yeah, we are. We cut those programs, guess what? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Studios. He's keeping his promises. He's run into legislative roadblocks from fellow Republicans, no less, at big moments, which is why the Obama-era health law survives. Wounded, but still insuring millions. Wounded? It's gutted. Taking out the mandate. Guts Obamacare right there. His own administration's sloppy start explains why none of the laws he pledged to sign in his first 100 days came to reality then, and why most are still aspirational. Nevertheless, Trump has nailed the tax overhaul, his only historic legislative accomplishment to date. Won confirmation of a conservative Supreme Court justice and other federal judges. He has like a record on the federal judges that he's nominated and got put in. So they need to watch what they're saying. And uses executive power with vigor to slice regulation and pull the U.S. away from international accords he assailed as a candidate. He got us out of, he closed down TPP, pulled us out of the Paris Accord. He approved Keystone Pipeline XL. He's approved the other pipeline. It goes on. Courts tied his most provocative action on immigration and Muslim entry in knots, but illegal border crossing appears to be at a historic low. What it doesn't also say is that Supreme Court has kind of knocked those lower courts down and allowing the bans to go into effect. The upshot, for all his rogue tendency, Trump has shaped up as a largely conventional Republican president when measured by his promises kept in motion. The Twitter version of Trump may be jazzed with braggadocious about the size of his non-existent nuclear button and his very stable genius, but the ledger of action taken is recognizable to Washington. Mainstream Republican tax cuts, pro-business policy with exception on trade, curbs on environmental regulations, an approach to health care that's been in the GOP playbook for years. That's as of today, and with this moment, with Trump, you never know about tomorrow. We're going to look It goes into several of its campaign promises and what's happening with them. Let's see. Taxes. Trump and congressional Republicans delivered on an overhaul that substantially lowered corporate taxes and cut personal income tax as promised. It's sizable, but not everything Trump said it would be, and it is more tilted to the wealthy than he promised or will admit. He promised a 15% tax rate for corporations and settled for 21%, still a major drop from 35%. He promised 3 tax brackets. There are still 7. He did not eliminate the estate tax or the alternative minimum tax as he said he would. Few people will be subject to those taxes, however, at least temporarily. And don't forget, he promised, and that his original idea was those. You have a lot of establishment, swamp-dwelling Republicans that had to be appeased to get this bill through. And he said, it's not done. He said, that's just the beginning. You know, there's more work to be done, and you know what? I believe him. If we elect a Senate and a House that will back him, we can get some great things done about taxes. And stop all this backdoor backstabbing that's been going on. Trump and congressional Republicans delivered on an overhaul that substantially, at least temporary. Everybody is getting a tax cut, especially the middle class, he said in the campaign. Most will, some will pay more. Now, it happens. Where are the ones that are going to pay more? In high tax states. That's where they're paying more. And what's funny is, Hollywood, the stars and celebrities are complaining because they're going to pay higher taxes when they've been campaigned with Hillary that they're supposed to pay higher taxes. Now that they're actually paying higher taxes, they're fucking complaining. Oh. That makes me want to bang my head really, really hard. Really, really hard. Trade. Trump made good on his promise to withdraw the U.S. from the Trans-Pacific Partnership Trade Agreement and to reopen the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, in search of a better deal. He let China off the hook, though, and on his often repeated threat during the campaign to brand Beijing a currency manipulator, a step towards potentially hefty penalties on China imports and likely sparks for a trade war. But what he did do is, by that threat, back them down. They've agreed to renegotiate a few things with trade and made it better for the U.S. That's already happened. We're like the piggy bank that's being robbed, he said of the trade relationship, which has tipped even more in China's favor since. Trump now threatens trade punishment if China does not sufficiently cooperate in reining in North Korea. Trump promised to impose a 35% tariff on goods from U.S. companies that ship productions abroad. He's not delivering on that. Instead, his tax plan aims to encourage companies to stay in the U.S. with a lower tax rate and to entice those operating abroad to come home by letting them repatriate their profits in the U.S. at a temporary discount rate. His approach so far is all carrot, no stick, which is bullshit. We've seen companies bringing that money back in. Where do you think a lot of those bonuses are coming back in? Expansion of companies. What else they were... He's not delivered on the 35% tariff. Why? Because that was an extreme measure, and he even said that was the extreme approach. What he's done now, he has it where the taxes are done. People want to stay in the United States and do business. Tax rate isn't that bad for him now. all the regulations, the red tape, all that has been limited to a degree. He's pulled away a lot of those job-killing regulations Obama put in. And that's why a lot of those companies were fleeing to another country. It scares me that I understand this better than most of these people do. Immigration. Candidate Trump rocked the political landscape when he promised or proposed a temporary ban on all non-U.S. Muslims entering the country. While he's long backed away from such talk, Trump has worked since his first day in office to impose new restriction on tourists and immigrants, signing executive orders that would have made good on his anti-immigration promise had those orders not been blocked by courts, which have been lifted by the Supreme Court. He's now succeeded in banning the entries of citizens from several Muslim-majority countries and severely curbing refugee admissions. He's tried to deny certain federal monies for cities that refuse to cooperate with federal immigration authorities. You mean where they refuse to abide by the law and they help hide illegal aliens? They forget to put that little part in there. It's... Oh, lordy, lordy. It really does. It just... The hell are some of these people thinking? Oh, what do we got here? All right. Trump is now deep in negotiations over an immigration deal that could deliver on other promises, including money for a border wall with Mexico, and overhauling the legal immigration system to make it harder for immigrants to sponsor their families. That's in exchange for extending protection for hundreds of thousands of young people brought to the country illegally as children. They are protections he once slammed as an illegal amnesty and pledged to end. Mexico still isn't ponying up any money for that wall, and I already said had it, that's handled. Everything, when it comes to this immigration, everything is a negotiation. He has said that time and time again. He said it on his campaign. Everything is a negotiation. As well, it should be. I don't expect Republicans to get everything and the Democrats to get nothing, and vice versa. But that's the way the Democrats played the game, all right? Doesn't mean you have to go tit for tat. I don't see Trump giving away the cow for a bunch of magical beans. Energy and the environment. I'm going to save that one for after when we come back from break. I'm going to play Money Talks Minute and then head to break. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
Welcome to this week's Money Talk Minute with your business diva, Melanie Collette. This week we talk 3 budgeting tips. Tip 1, take a daily money minute. According to experts, taking 60 seconds a day to check your finances will help identify any problems right away, help you track your progress, and in this way you can make any needed adjustments right away and stay on track. Tip 2, allocate at least 20% of your income toward your financial priorities. And by priorities we mean paying off debt, building an emergency fund, and padding your retirement accounts. Tip 3, budget about 30% of your income for lifestyle spending. And by lifestyle spending, we mean anything that's not a basic necessity. This includes restaurants and happy hours. By abiding by the 30% rule, you can save and splurge at the same time. And that's all for this week's Money Talk Minute. I am your business diva, Melanie Collette. Money Talk with Melanie airs Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. East, 2 p.m. West, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Talk Radio.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
Good evening. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is featured on the SHR Media Network every Tuesday and Thursday night for 2 hours at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific. Whilst manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ continues to radically change the world of leftists, one diaper at a time. Stop balancing your checkbooks. Stop cleaning your fish tanks. The bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is your magnet for truth, justice, obesity, a darkened studio, and late-night freedom. No United States of America freedoms were abridged in the making of this ad.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians, a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless, hope to the hopeless, clues to the clueless. Sackheads Sean, Sackheads Clint, and Sackheads BZ. The Sackheads Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern on shrmedia.com. Watch on YouTube, Facebook, and the High Plains Pundit Network. The best in late-night conservative talk. The Sackheads Radio Show, only on the SHR Media Network.
But I'll say it. Some of the best cable is going to be like, what are you talking about? The last one. Dude, I'm a freaking artist. I can't just come up with this shit off the top of my head. Are you freaking kidding me right now? Good point. Exactly right.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
When dirty politicians, shadow governments, and deceptive Islam blind the world with fake stream media smoke, their only fear is one man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me through shrmedia.com, highplainstalkradio.com, and the Western Free Radio Network at Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes for a different perspective weekly on the Unpleasant Blind Guy. And catch me on Jeff Mitchell's EDL Radio on blogtalkradio.com. There's
no surrender ever.
Because truth is not always pleasant.
This is Sam on SHR Media. You can listen to my new show starting on Tuesdays in January. Get my perspective on national politics, a conservative's perspective on California politics, the latest in the war on terror, all of that and a lot more here on Tuesdays at SHR Media. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Sam_SHR Media.
Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hey, this is Sackhead Clint, and with Sackhead Sean, Sackhead BZ. No communists allowed on the SHR Media Network. Damn straight, mister.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense here on the SHR Media Network. Hey, Sean, you ever see a one-eared elephant?
No.
Check this out.
Oh, that's so tiny.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Oh, man. Leave it to the seconds. How many can I show per page? 100. Obsessed with power tools. Let's see, where am I? I got some equipment coming in. Damn it. Let me get that going. There we go. Almost forgot the camera. Yesterday I did it for the whole last 10 minutes of the show. I forgot to turn the camera back. I was excited about it. And I just saw that the Flyers just lost. Damn it. Win some, you lose some. So, we were talking about Trump's successes so far as, there we go, president. And we were just getting to the energy and environment section of this AP article. And it goes on to Trump promised aggressive action on the energy front and has pursued that. He announced his intentions to take the U.S. out of the Paris Climate Change Accord. He gave swift approval to the Keystone XL pipeline and the Dakota Access pipelines. That's the other one I forgot. That was stalled by President Barack Obama. Moved to shrink protected national monument lands in Utah and Arizona. And acted to lift restriction on mining coal and coastal drilling for oil and natural gas. A provision in the new tax law opens the long-protected Arctic National Wildlife Refuge to drilling. As other countries turn harder toward green energy, Trump is making fossil fuel the centerpiece of his drive toward energy independence, a benchmark that Obama closed in on during an era of surging national gas development. A benchmark? We never came anywhere near energy dependent underneath that asshole. Oh my God. What a crock of shit. Listen. The more money that goes into some of these oil companies, yes, they are looking into alternative energy. But we're not there yet, people. I would love for us to be there. I would love it. But we're nowhere near it right now. We don't have the technology to do it. And to sit here and cut our nose off despite our face is not helping. Here, let me answer this real quick. I got a damn survey that keeps popping up. All right. Sorry about this. It's damn nosy little bitches these people are. Hopefully that'll be the last. Come on. Good. Now, piss off. Alright. Sorry about that. Damn. Pushy little fuckers. It's like the 20th damn email I got from them. Listen, there's countries, what they did is they became independent of energy. And it first started with fossil fuels. And they ended up getting it. And we could be the same way. Right now, we're already producing more than we would consume. Already there. So we can be energy independent. We could do it where our country is making buku bucks. Because we could start producing and exporting at a cheaper rate than Middle East. And you know what? The Middle East loses some money. Terrorists lose money. So maybe if we start a competition where the prices have to go down, these princes will stop funding all these terrorist organizations. That's simple, people. And then we have the extra money. We can start more research. We have more money to put in research to find independent energy. Or green energy, I should say. Excuse me. Huh. Hold on. Saying, I just saw a report that Fusion GPS is still spying on Trump, trying to get dirt on him. Got another article that just popped up a moment ago. I want to check it out. Trump has cut UN RWA funding, and what that does is the funding goes to a UN agency specifically designated for the descendants of Palestine refugees. So, of course, that just pissed off ABBA. Screw them. Abra, abracadabra. I'm gonna reach out and grab you. Let's see, healthcare. Probably nothing exemplifies frustration, ambition more than the Obama health law Republicans have been trying to dismantle ever since it was enacted in 2010. Trump has declared it dead many times. He just never got around to killing it. Well, he made this overpromise in the campaign. My first day in office, I'm going to ask Congress to put a bill on my desk getting rid of this disastrous law and replacing it with reforms that expand choices, freedom, and affordability. You're going to have such great health care at a tiny fraction of the cost. It's going to be easy. It hasn't happened because there's some traitors that seem to more aligned with Democrats than anybody. Flake, McCain, Collins, Susan Collins, and there's another one I can't remember off the top of my head. Corker. Otherwise, that law would have been repealed by now. And it is dead. I mean, it's been collapsing on itself. The costs have been ridiculous. And now that people don't have to have it, there's no mandate. Hopefully I didn't say band-aid. Mandate, which I think we still have a mandate through 2018. No. 2017 we still had the mandate, so even though it was signed, we still had to have health care. I think now is when we don't have to have it. It's a choice. If you can't afford it, you don't have to buy the product. Now what that's going to do, take a guess. That's right. It's going to lower costs. The insurance companies are going to have to lower the cost to get those people to sign up for plans. Trump's also talking that he was looking into seeing if he could sign an executive order that opens up the borders. And what I mean by open up the borders, not nationally, but state-wise. So that a company selling in Florida can sell to the other 49 states if they choose to. Which then, more clients, more competition. Guess what that means? Lower cost. A lot of people said, conservatives said, win Obamacare. Okay, you want the mandate, you want this, just have it so that the companies can go across state lines. Nope, they didn't even want to do that. So, Obamacare is pretty much dead. Republicans took several runs at repealing and replacing the law last year, only to fall short. The December tax law, though, is knocking out a pillar. As of 2019, the requirement to carry health care insurance or pay a fine will be gone. Also, the discretion of who gets exemption and who doesn't has been made a lot easier to get an exemption. Trump has come out with a proposed regulation to promote the sale of health plans across state lines. The goal is to make it easier for associations to sponsor plans that are cheaper than the Affordable Care Act policies, but don't have to meet all the consumer protection and benefit requirements of that law. Great, because why do I have to pay in my insurance for me to get a pap smear? Why do I have to pay extra to have an OB doctor? I don't plan on having any babies anytime soon. I can guarantee I don't plan on having a baby at all. I don't plan on going to have a pap smear done. I don't plan to go have my breasts checked. My breastises. Just as I'm pretty sure my wife doesn't plan on going and getting her prostate examined. Or her balls checked. Even though she's got a pretty big set of balls. The insurance industry group, patient groups, and some state regulators are weary of the idea and see little chance it could be more than a dent in the ranks of uninsured. Easing restrictions on the sale of health insurance across state line has been a long mainstream conservative goal. He also promised to authorize Medicare to negotiate lower prescription drug prices. It hasn't been done yet. American First Abroad. That's going to be the next one after this break. We're going to hit a Money Talks with Melanie. Yeah, Money Talks Minute with Melanie. And then we'll head to a break. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
Welcome to this week's Money Talk with Melanie with your business diva, Melanie Collette. This week we talk 3 first steps to start the new year off right. Step 1, start tracking your net worth. Your net worth is the difference between your assets and debt. Paying attention to your net worth lets you know whether you should be cutting back or if you can splurge. Step 2, create a financial calendar. Set appointment reminders for things like remembering to pay your quarterly taxes or periodically pulling a credit report. Finally, step 3, check your interest rates. Checking your interest rates is a great way to determine things like which debts you should pay off first or where you should open a savings account. And that's all for this week's Money Talk Minute with your business diva, Melanie Collette. Please remember to listen to Money Talk with Melanie Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central, or 2 p.m. Pacific Time on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Talk Radio.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Good evening. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is featured on the SHR Media Network every Tuesday and Thursday night for 2 hours at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific. Whilst manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ continues to radically change the world of leftists, one diaper at a time. Stop balancing your checkbooks. Stop cleaning your fish tanks. The bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is your magnet for truth, justice, obesity, a darkened studio, and late-night freedom. No United States of America freedoms were abridged in the making of this ad.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m., Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians, a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless, hope to the hopeless, clues to the clueless. Sackheads Sean, Sackheads Clint, and Sackheads BZ. The Sackheads Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern on shrmedia.com. Watch on YouTube, Facebook, and the High Plains Pundit Network. The best in late-night conservative talk. The Sackheads Radio Show, only on the SHR Media Network.
Go ahead, I'll say it.
Some of the best cable is going to be
like, what are you talking about?
the last one.
Yeah, I'm a freaking artist. I can't just come up with this shit off the top of my head. Are you freaking kidding me right now?
Good point. Exactly right.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
When dirty politicians, shadow governments, and deceptive Islam blind the world with fake stream media smoke, their only fear is one man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me through shrmedia.com, highplainstalkradio.com, and the Western Free Radio Network at Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes for a different perspective weekly on the Unpleasant Blind Guy. And catch me on Jeff Mitchell's EDL Radio on blogtalkradio.com. There's
no surrender ever.
Because truth is not always pleasant.
This is Sam on SHR Media. You can listen to my new show starting on Tuesdays in January. Get my perspective on national politics, a conservative's perspective on California politics, the latest in the war on terror, all of that and a lot more here on Tuesdays at SHR Media. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Sam_SHR Media.
Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hey, this is Sackhead Clint, and I'm with Sackhead Sean, Sackhead BZ. No communists allowed on the SHR Media Network.
Damn straight, mister.
Conservative media done right.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense here on the SHR Media Network. Hey, Sean, you ever see a one-eared elephant?
No.
Check this out.
Oh, that's so tiny.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Don't forget, coming up top of the hour in approximately 54 minutes will be BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, hosted by, yep, you got it, BZ himself. The speech is free, but the drinks aren't. No, I'm not sponsored by Gatorade. Just what I'm drinking. Because right now my voice is going in and out. I'd be all of a sudden just get willy tight. We hunting Democrats. Be very, very quiet. back to this article. It's a pretty long one, but you know what? That's funny because this is about Trump's success in the first year, and it's a long article. Who would have known? Trump promised swift victory over ISIS. Over the past year, U.S. and coalition-backed local forces in Iraq and Syria did deal a crushing blow to ISIS, ousting the militant from most of the territory they once held. I think they're out of like 95 to 98% of the territory that they took over in Syria and Iraq. The success built on the strategy of Obama administration to work with and through local forces, which is a bunch of bullshit. Trump's been actually fighting ISIS instead of bombing empty buildings. Trump did relax restriction on the number of U.S. troops who could be deployed both to Iraq and Syria, and that aid the final push. This had nothing to do with Obama. Underneath Obama, ISIS expanded. Underneath Trump, ISIS contracted. Obama was not allowing real fighting to happen. Trump let the military be the military. I have said that for years. Let the military be the military. We pay millions of dollars to have all these generals trained in combat. And then when a war does break out, we have a bunch of politicians that don't know shit about war running the war. Monday morning quarterbacking. Putting restrictions. Why do you think we had such a high death rate in Afghanistan? Because we pretty much were not allowed to shoot back at the enemy. The rules of engagement were so strict, it was disgusting. And our military boys were paying the price for Obama's arrogance. Now, U.S. commanders, however, stopped short of saying ISIS is defeated, pointing to the remaining militants and fighting in Syria. They also note the group has spawned affiliates in other countries, such as Afghanistan and Yemen, where they routinely attack U.S. forces and allies. While reeling as a territorial force, the ISIS group has inspired terrorist attacks in the West. The Pentagon has yet to see the massive increase in military spending that Trump has promised. Well, thank your Democrats and a couple of Republicans for that. That still might come, but the protracted struggle to pass a Pentagon budget of whatever size has hurt U.S. military readiness, defense officials say. We got planes falling apart. We have planes that are being repaired with junkyard parts. Our military is subpar because of Obama. Doesn't mean we need to go hog wild on spending. Trump, I honestly can say I trust him with the spending of military, that he will oversee the spending to make sure that they're on time, under budget, all that. Past presidents made common cause with authoritarian figures, and their promotion of values could be cursory. Wait a minute. More broadly, Trump's America First ethic has been reflected in his pressure on members of NATO countries to step up their own military spending, and his weariness of international accords, and in the seemingly drift from a diplomatic tradition of promoting U.S. democratic values abroad. Now, Trump said he was willing to step out of NATO if need be. Everybody was like, oh my God. What did it do? The NATO countries said, yeah, you're right. We need to start paying our fair share. And he said, okay, we're staying in. It's called negotiating. You need a strong hand. Be willing to back out if need be. But if he says, we're going to back out of NATO if these people don't start paying their fair share, we're not going to back out. They're going to go, we heard you. You're not going to back out, so why should we pay our fair share? But when he comes out going, we're going to leave. No, I'm not joking. We're going to leave. Okay, we're going to pay our fair share. Fine, we'll stay and help then. Everybody freaks out about the statement. diplomacy. Despite railing against the Iran nuclear deal as a candidate, Trump has so far passed up opportunity to get the U.S. out of it. On the other hand, he rolled back parts of Obama's opening to Cuba. He has also moved forward on recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, a goal that both parties have embraced in their platform for decades but never acted on. Now, when it comes to Iran, he has stayed in so far, and he has said if some things aren't done, he will be leaving it soon. And again, Iran is calling the bluff at this time, so we're going to have to leave. And now on to infrastructure. And what's funny is all these things, except America First, Democrats have campaigned on for years. And now all of a sudden, and especially the next one they campaigned on, and now all of a sudden it's evil. Trump pledged a $1 trillion effort to rebuild the country's airport, roads, bridges, and other infrastructures. Our infrastructure is failing us right now. Obama built a stimulus package around infrastructure spending, and nothing ever happened. And now Democrats want to worry about spending on infrastructure and the debt? They need to go fuck themselves with a cactus at that point. As with his tax plan, it's shaping up to be less ambitious than promised, though it still might be significant. Placed behind the failed effort to repeal the health law and the successful one to cut taxes, infrastructure may or may not emerge as a proposal in coming weeks. Trump's idea appears to involve using federal tax dollars to leverage state government and private spending, not to mount a New Deal-era explosion of federal projects. There was an article I ran across today where they are asking to up the gas taxes, which, as long as the money, and then they said that what they want to raise it for is for infrastructure spending. Okay? As much as it'll hurt my wallet, if they actually use that money, for infrastructure spending. Sorry, total brain fart there. If they actually use the money, I have no problem with paying that extra tax. I said it when Obama went in. If they would up their tax, say, 10 cents, so everybody had health insurance. There was no health insurance plan. Everybody just went to the doctors. You know, you got seen, you walk out. I know that's somewhat socialist, but in a way you're paying for it. You're paying your taxes, and that's paying your insurance plan. And whatever, if it would have been a reasonable rate, I would have said, all right, I could live with that. I know some people may rail me for being a conservative and having that idea. I didn't say I wanted it. I said I would accept it. That does make a big difference. Just like I don't want a tax increase on my gas, but if it gets us an infrastructure rebuilt, which means jobs and means more money for companies and environmental growth at that point, okay, I'll take the hit in my wallet, according to what it is, too. Veterans. Having been previously criticized the Department of Veterans Affairs as the most corrupt, Trump delivered on one campaign promise by signing legislation to make it easy for VA employees to be fired for misconduct. At least for now, its impact in bringing accountability to the department remains unclear. The pace of VA firings during Obama's last budget year was higher than during Trump's first, which covered the first 9 months of his administration. Other Trump initiatives announced with fanfare in 2017 remain far from complete or have been limited because of questions about raising government costs, a multi-billion-dollar overhaul of electronic medical records, expanding access to doctors to reduce wait times, and a goal of hiring 1,000 additional mental health counselors in the first year. The VA has been clouded by a 2014 scandal at the Phoenix VA hospital in which employees manipulated records to hide appointment delays. Despite his promise, Trump hasn't pushed for a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on Congress members. Well, not exactly, because that was put in very early by, I think Ted Cruz put that amendment in. And now it's in the hands of Congress and out of Trump's control. Now they're getting a little ridiculous. He hasn't worked to end birthright citizenship, and he hasn't made good on his pledge to drop dirty, rotten traitor Bo Burdog out of an airplane over Afghanistan without a parachute. They're just being stupid on that one. They're attacking him, saying because he promised not to take a vacation, but he goes to his properties and golfs on the weekend. That's not a vacation. Indeed, Trump has visited properties he owns nearly 1 out of the 3 days he's been in office, raising a tangle of ethical questions about whether he's profiting from his presidency. They couldn't help it but to take shots. Sorry, I'm looking at a couple of them. You know, the rest is they're taking shots at him. Talking about, in contrast, Obama signed an enormous stimulus package into law in his first month, while also achieving a law expanding health care for children and other policy steps. Yeah, the stimulus package that didn't stimulate shit, except put a lot of money back into the benefactors, or the coffers, and the people donated to Obama. As I said, and that stimulus package was an infrastructure rebuild that never happened. That money was approved. Where'd it go? And a lot of this has not been Trump is not working. It's because Democrats have been delaying and obstructing every fucking step of the way. Every step of the way, they have thrown up a roadblock. That's why I make sure, come November, we vote for people that aren't going to be yes men, but that are going to back this agenda. I don't mind independent thinking and different ideas coming into the subject. But we have, hey, BZ, we have too many people that are trying to make a name for themselves and don't care how they do it. And how they're doing it is on the backs of Americans. So hopefully we can straighten out a lot of this bullshit. Oh, who's your guest for tonight, BZ? As I said earlier, don't forget to catch... brain fart, hold on. I want to get this right. I always mess it up while I wait for BZ to answer if he's near the keyboard. Because he's cleaning the toilets right now. Oh, where the hell are you? I want to get the name exactly right. I always butcher it. I always do. BZ, we have to update the schedule, I think, on SHR Media. Last time I looked like it's a little outdated. Berserk Bobcat Saloon, hosted by BZ, will be coming up in approximately 40 minutes. Right now, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plain Pundits Radio, and we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Good evening. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is featured on the SHR Media Network every Tuesday and Thursday night for 2 hours at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific. Whilst manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ continues to radically change the world of leftists, one diaper at a time. Stop balancing your checkbooks. Stop cleaning your fish tanks. The bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is your magnet for truth, justice, obesity, a darkened studio, and late-night freedom. No United States of America freedoms were abridged in the making of this ad.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians, a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless, hope to the hopeless, clues to the clueless. Sackheads Sean, Sackheads Clint, and Sackheads BZ. The Sackheads Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern on shrmedia.com. Watch on YouTube, Facebook, and the High Plains Pundit Network. The best in late-night conservative talk. The Sackheads Radio Show, only on the SHR Media Network.
Some of the best able is going to be like what are you talking about? The last one. Yeah, I'm a freaking artist. I can't just come up with this shit off the top of my head. Are you freaking kidding me right now? Good point. Exactly right.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
When dirty politicians, shadow governments, and deceptive Islam blind the world with fake stream media smoke, their only fear is one man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me through shrmedia.com, highplainstalkradio.com, and the Western Free Radio Network at Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes for a different perspective weekly on the Unpleasant Blind Guy. And catch me on Jeff Mitchell's EDL Radio on blogtalkradio.com. There's
no surrender ever.
Because truth is not always pleasant.
This is Sam on SHR Media. You can listen to my new show starting on Tuesdays in January. Get my perspective on national politics, a conservative's perspective on California politics, the latest in the war on terror, all of that and a lot more here on Tuesdays at SHR Media. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Sam_SHR Media.
Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hey, this is Sackhead Clint, and with Sackhead Sean, Sackhead BZ, no communists allowed on
straight, mister.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening.
Contact is the
Now back to Reaver of Common Sense with Jersey Joe.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. Don't forget to stick around. Coming up next, top of the hour, that would be 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, of course, hosted by BZ himself. So, where are we? I got sidetracked. I finished one of my canes that I was working on. I got to finish the other one this weekend. And then I have a walking stick that I've had sitting to the side that I've just been looking at. Trying to figure out what to do with it. I know, go walking with it. But the design of the walking sticks, nothing has jumped out at me yet. So I'm just sitting back, and I'm looking through some possible doing a paracord wrap around like a handle area. I don't know. I don't know just yet. Things that make you go, So, see, what else? What other articles do we have? Oh, the Democrats are searching for the winning playbook. Democrats are feeling increasingly confident about their chance of winning back the House and Senate in the 2018 midterm. Of course, they said it They said it in 2016. Nancy and the Democrats did in 2016, 2014, 2012, 2010. So you can have all the confidence in your world out in public, but if you are a fly in the wall, they know they are in trouble. I mean, that is one of the main reasons that they keep pushing for immigrants to get legal status. Why? Because they can open them up for voting, legal voting. And they know that these illegals will vote for the Democrats. They can't convince Americans, a lot of your Americans, because they know the bullshit that they've been pulling. So they have to import new voters. Yeah, BZ just put he's going to be reporting on this also, that the DNC is tearing itself apart, and it is. This is not the DNC of years ago. Now, I might get in some trouble for this. DNC wasn't as diabolical as it is today. Now, there's no moderates. There's nobody in the middle. Those have been forced out. And even the supporters, they've been forced out. They've left. And all they have left are these loudmouth extremists on the left. And they think they're popular because they misinterpreted the loudest for the popular. And it's not so. Sometimes the quietest is the best resource. But they just think that this left, this small fringe group on the left, they think it's a majority in the country because they're the loudest. And they're not. And the Democrats, if they are confident, they're fooling themselves. After a surprising victory in Alabama's Senate election last month. Now, again, this is the Hill story. The party felt like it had momentum. It had help from the Republican Party. And it still was a pretty tight race. Decisions by a pair of high-profile House GOP incumbents, Darrell Issa and Ed Royce, to announce their retirement has left the party feeling more confident. Why? Issa barely won re-election last time in California, a huge liberal area for ISA. He knew he wasn't getting reelected. The ones that are retiring out of the GOP are ones that know they're not going to win a primary challenge. Flake knew he would lose a primary challenge. He had single-digit approval numbers in his own state. Corker, same thing, knows that he's not going to survive a primary. It's not that the Democrats are more popular. It's those Republicans, those other swamp people. They know they're in trouble. They know they're probably not going to win re-election. And here, I guess it's making some of these Democrats be disillusional with themselves, thinking, oh, we can win. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Just because the GOP has some people that are leaving doesn't make it an easy seat. The Hill asked more than a dozen top officials, strategists, and lawmakers in the party how Democrats should work the next 10 months in Washington and across the country. Here's what they said the party's top priorities and strategies should be between now and November. And real quick, what are the Democrat Party doing now? What is their whole policy? Bitch about the 2016 election. Obstruct Trump. That's what I hear from people, everyday people out on the street. And it pisses them off. Because what aren't they doing? Work. They're not doing anything for the constituents. If anything, they're screwing over the people of America for their party. And the American people see it. But they think, and these are people, because when you talk to strategists and party top officials, strategists, lawmakers, they're not going to come out and say they're hurting, they're down, they're out, they don't have anything to go on. They're going to tell you that they're winning. Because what they're hoping for is the people that are ignorant, easily deceived, or those who don't pay attention at all, to hear that and go, oh, I guess I shouldn't vote for Republican or Democrat. And what they haven't got through their heads, these strategies worked decades ago. What wasn't around decades ago? What wasn't around a decade ago? Smartphones. So they could say whatever they wanted. Now it comes on smartphones, and people can just boop, 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 boop. Oh shit, he's lying to me. And they haven't adjusted for that. Because I hear, oh, I didn't say that. I never said that. Well, here's a video. Well, I never said that. You know? The flip-flopping that they're doing. Hell, Schumer's been doing a lot of flip-flopping, especially on immigration. The party is in denial, and their whole idea is attack Trump and fight the 2016 election, excuse me. But by their idea, don't be in a hurry to compromise. Democrats think Republicans have good reason to be worried about the midterms given President Trump's approval number and endless streams of White House controversy and history. The president's party typically loses seat in the first midterms of his term. That's what they're counting on. Typically. Not always, typically. And those approval numbers are the same poll numbers that said Hillary's winning. And I've seen just as many poll numbers that show Trump's approval number is a lot higher than these numbers show. And when you start looking at the base, who they called, they're very one-sided. And they won't tell you, as I reported yesterday, that Trump has doubled his approval ratings with blacks, which that will hurt the Democrats bad. But they're going on. Oh well, you see, the president's party typically loses seats in the first midterm of his term. Yeah, just what I want to bet on. So the Democrats say their congressional leaders should be in no hurry to compromise with Republicans on immigration or Trump's demand for a wall on the Mexican border, infrastructure, or spending matters ahead of a possible shutdown this week. The last thing Democrats should be doing is chasing after elusive bipartisan compromises, said Democrat strategist James Manley, a former chief spokesman to then Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid. So they shouldn't be trying to compromise. Isn't that what our system is supposed to do? Compromise? Shows that they're just there to do what? Obstruct. Former Rep. Steve Israel, Democrat from New York, said the focus has to be winning in November, even as lawmakers battle for legislative victories this winter. Democrats have a responsibility to govern, but they also have an imperative to win, said Israel, who led the Democrat Congressional Campaign Committee in 2014. No shit, Sherlock. That's one of those that's kind of like, idiot. That's what we're talking about, what they have to do to win. Holy shit. I just, oh my God, that one gave me a headache. None of this means Democrats should reject a legislative deal. Indeed, red state Democrats up for re-election in the Senate are seen as being nervous about pushing things too far in the spending talks, and conflict between House and Senate may be in play. Arguably, there is more incentive for Senate Democrat leader Chuck Schumer to compromise as he seeks to protect incumbents such as Senator Claire McCaskill or Joe Donnelly in Missouri and Indiana, respectively. In the House, Democrat leader Nancy Pelosi is eyeing a big turnout from the left to deliver a majority to her conference. Now, I was talking this with my mother the other day, and I was laughing. Let them say that they have this locked up. Let them say that they're going to win, because what that does is then Joe Schmo, his wife, look at each other and go, they got it locked up. Martha, we don't have to go out and vote today. We can stay home and watch Jeopardy. But in the meantime, now you got the Republicans. You're going, oh shit, we got to get out and vote. Because if we let the Democrats take majority, they're going to impeach Trump. So we got to get out. And it's ginning up the base of the Republic while it's quieting the Democrats down. And the Democrats are scared shitless right now, as I've said multiple times, that the millennials start seeing more money in their pocket. Guess what? They may jump ship. They're not held to a party. That old standard of, where people were Democrats, they stayed Democrats. That's not how it is today. No one's beholden to a party. And the Democrats can't get that through their head. They think they take people for granted. And they really shouldn't do that. Because that can hurt them. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, and we will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Good evening. Broadcasting behind enemy lines in occupied California, the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is featured on the SHR Media Network every Tuesday and Thursday night for 2 hours at 11 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Pacific. Whilst manufacturers are running out of metal for the diapers of the leftists, BZ continues to radically change the world of leftists, one diaper at a time. Stop balancing your checkbooks. Stop cleaning your fish tanks. The bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon radio show is your magnet for truth, justice, obesity, a darkened studio, and late-night freedom. No United States of America freedoms were abridged in the making of this ad.
Human by race, Christian by faith, American by nationality, and conservative by choice. Reverend Ralph J. Chittum Sr. is the right guy on SHR Media from 8:05 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. And if on the rare occasion I am ever wrong, I will still always be right. The right guy on SHR Media.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians, a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless, hope to the hopeless, clues to the clueless. Sackheads Sean, Sackheads Clint, and Sackheads BZ. The Sackheads Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific and 11 p.m. Eastern on shrmedia.com. Watch on YouTube, Facebook, and the High Plains Pundit Network. The best in late-night conservative talk, the Sackheads Radio Show, only on the SHR Media Network.
Go ahead, I'll say it. Some of the best is going to be... Like, what are you talking about? The last one. Yeah, I'm a freaking artist. I can't just come up with this shit off the top of my head. Are you freaking kidding me right now? Good point. Exactly right.
Hey, this is Michael Wright.
And I'm Shannon Wright.
Join us for The Right Way with Shannon and Mike, Monday through Thursday from 7 to 9 a.m. right here on SHR Media.
Why are they joining us?
For fun things like sports, politics.
Oh, maybe some news and entertainment?
And all kinds of other things.
Money and recipes and events, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so join us Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 a.m. here on shrmedia.com.
When dirty politicians, shadow governments, and deceptive Islam blind the world with fake stream media smoke, their only fear is one man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me through shrmedia.com, highplainstalkradio.com, and the Western Free Radio Network, at Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes for a different perspective weekly on the unpleasant blind guy. And catch me on Jeff Mitchell's EDL Radio on blogtalkradio.com. There's
no surrender ever.
Because truth is not always pleasant.
This is Sam on SHR Media. You can listen to my new show starting on Tuesdays in January. Get my perspective on national politics, a conservative's perspective on California politics, the latest in the war on terror, all of that and a lot more here on Tuesdays at SHR Media. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Sam_SHR Media.
Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch Reaver of Common Sense show hosted by Jersey Joe right here on shrmedia.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else. So consider this your fair warning.
Hey, this is Sackhead Clint, and I'm with Sackhead Sean, Sackhead BZ. No communists allowed on the SHR Media Network. Damn straight, mister.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense here on the SHR Media Network. Hey, Sean, you ever see a one-eared elephant?
No.
Check this out.
Oh, that's so tiny.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. Oh, the show is almost done. Don't forget, coming up next, the Bobcat Saloon sorry, Berserk Bobcat Saloon. Holy shit. Berserk Bobcat Saloon, hosted by, of course, BZ himself. What the hell? Washington Times article I just came across. Sorry, BZ, I just totally botched your promo. But coming up next is BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon, hosted by BZ. And what is this article? So yeah, the Democrat Party, I think they are in more trouble. They are in denial of what's actually happening. And they're still stunned by 2016. And they think they can go out and beat the 2018 while still trying to fight 2016. And what they're doing is they're pulling out the, what is it? They're following the Rahm Emanuel 2006 model. He's the Chicago mayor. The former White House chief of staff was the campaign czar for House Democrats the last time they won the House majority in 2006. While part of Emanuel's game plan was to recruit top candidates across the country, he also focused on the suburbs, a hotbed for moderate voters that Dems say will be the key to victory in 2018. Many of the key races that determine control of the House will be won or lost in suburban districts. A senior fellow of governance studied at a Brookings Institute who served as policy advisor for Bill Clinton during his administration. So basically what they're doing is they're going into the same bag of tricks that they used before. They're going to try again. And they think because President Bush was unpopular, and I don't see it happen again. I mean, George Bush stayed in office. Oh, no. I'm still out of it. My mind goes one way, my mouth goes another way, and I get all blubbered up. Yeah. I don't see them. And they think, the Democrats say the political climate is even more poisonous for Republicans now. And they're imploding, the Democrats said. All we need to do is let them unravel while holding firm to our issues. Again, when a Democrat is bitching about something, they're bitching about it because that's exactly what's happening to their party. Their party is imploding right before our eyes. And they think because Doug Jones won, they're going to win the nation. Seriously, Democrats think Jones won in Alabama because he was the right candidate to have in the race when things opened up for the party. No, he won for two reasons. He had help from Republican incumbents, Republican senators, Republican leaders. He also won because there was girls coming out and making accusations that could not be proven or disproven about his opponent. That's how Doug Jones won. So I don't think the Democrats are doing as great as this article talks about that they think they're doing. I think that they're delusional at best. B, they're just outright lying to try to make it look like they're more stable than they really are. And I'm pretty sure if BZ's touching on that subject about how it's tearing itself apart, I'm pretty sure I'm going on the right track myself. It's, oh God, these people. What I see them trying to do is trying to pull a Trump. And trying to go out there and campaign like Trump. Run their mouth like Trump did. And it's not going to work. Trump is a phenomenon amongst himself. Now, last article that I'm going to get into, maybe the last article, according to how quickly I go through it. President Trump kicked CNN star Jim Acosta out of the Oval Office Tuesday after the network's senior White House correspondent badgered him with racially charged questions. Acosta has made a habit of grandstanding and interrupting when Trump and his surrogates are available to the media. Tuesday was no exception, as Acosta yelled Mr. President 3 times before finally getting his attention. Quote, "Did you say that you want more people to come in from Norway? Did you say that you want more people from Norway? Is that true, Mr. President?" Acosta frantically shouted. "I want them to come in from everywhere. Everywhere. Thank you very much, everybody." Trump responded to Acosta, continued to bark, question. "Just Caucasian or white country, sir? Or do you want people to come in from other parts of the world? People of color," Acosta shouted. Trump then pointed directly at Acosta and simply said, "Ow." Now, a Trump staffer in the background can be heard saying, "Jim, thank you," before the CNN star presumably exited the room. Acosta, of course, then took to Twitter, accusing the White House aide of obstructing him from asking questions. Well, if you're going to be a jackass, and you can't act like an adult, you cannot be respectful, you don't deserve to be in there. It's not like this is the first time he acted up. Acosta is after his 10-second YouTube fame, his next YouTube sensation clip, whatever you want to call it, and that he could cry that he is a victim. His questions are useless, and he badgers. He's not respectful, and he doesn't deserve to be in there. This is not an attack on free press. This is an attack on a person that has his own political agenda hiding behind the mask of journalism. That's all Acosta is doing. He has his own agenda, and he is attacking a political figure and hiding behind the mask of journalism. I find it disgusting, repulsive. It's why I don't even listen to him or watch him. And I don't blame President Trump for ejecting him. You want to act like a child, you get treated like a child. How much more can you keep talking on? Oh, shit. The commercial is on. Someone has it up on Facebook. Commercial from 1989. The cellular phones on sale at Radio Shack for $799. The old bricks. You had to carry that big battery around with you. It's like a big purse. $799, $340 off. God, I remember those. That's scary. All right, everybody. Coming up next is Berserk Bobcat Saloon, hosted by BZ. I will be back tomorrow. I want to wish everybody a great evening. Be safe and have fun. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hbpundit.com and shrmedia.com.